Um, Understanding your roots is important because it it shapes the way that you sound in your creative process. And that's just creativity across the board, not just music. Um, my major influences as far as music is all of rap from like the late 90s to like 2015. Outside of rap is like older music like James Brown, Patti LaBelle, Nat King Cole, like old old records. Um, so what I want y'all to do, who we got in here? All right, so for the ones that's in here, take a second and uh, think about artists that have influenced you in your journey. So what I mean by that is the way that you move throughout life, not just who you like, because everything could be an influence, but people who artists who have like changed the way that you think and changed the way that you operate like with other people, the things that you do. Like maybe you tried something new because an artist mentioned it in a song or something like that. So I would say mine is James Brown, Kanye West, MC Light, Tupac, Big Sean, and the Russell. And
Mm.
the reasons that I'm listing those are James Brown is the first artist I ever remember hearing. I chipped my tooth dancing to James Brown when I was like 6 years old. Kanye West,
Right.
if you watch any of my interviews, turn into Kanye West in them interviews. I be forgetting that like it's gonna get posted to the world, so I just be talking. Um, MC Light, if you listen to my music, listen to her music, the tone is very similar. Um, Tupac, when I first started releasing music, it was under the name Mick the Rebel, and there was a lot of like controversial political type topics. Um, Big Sean, Big Sean was he's still one of my favorite rappers, but he was my favorite rapper for until I found out about the Russell. Like so
Mm.
from I'm gonna say from 10th grade until like last year. So
All right.
that's like a good 8 years. And then Russell has influenced me because changed the way that I do business. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I think that your influences are the foundation of your sound. So it's important to recognize them. So I just want y'all to take a minute and drop in the comments a couple of your influences. Not a, it doesn't have to be any specific amount. Um, and then we could talk about it.
Yeah. While y'all
And who,
thinking, I wanted
Siege,
to
who
that
are
matter
your
too.
influences?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to get to. Before I get to my personal influences, you know, I want to bring in an alternative drawn off the strength of like a lot of the influences in music are important because they form who we actually are, like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Like that was a really, I just wanted to reiterate what you were saying with that because like a lot of the images and, specifically hip hop today, a lot of the influences, a lot of the thought processes are not from people who actually are like you. They're funneled through people who look like you, but those perspectives, those ideas about you, those are not our ideas of ourselves. So
Yeah.
it's important for you to, like you said, really know what your influences are. Like what is influencing you? You feel me?
And what
So
exactly are they influencing?
yeah, man. So, uh, all my influences made a connection between them as Geminis. You feel me? So I like Lauryn Hill. I like
Mm-hmm.
Andre.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bob Dylan. I like Tupac, Ye. Big, you heard me? The
Yeah.
Geminis. And then like,
Um,
some honorable mentions would be Nip. That's like
for sure.
that's my archetype. That's my spirit. You know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
new Nip, East Coast Nip. You feel me? That's my vibe. So those are some of my
Son
influences.
of son of J.L.Y. said Michael Jackson, Ye, and Kendrick. So, uh, son of J.L.Y., what kind of music do you make? Like, what genre of music do you make? And then Maya said her influences include her dad. Shout out to your dad. Everybody don't got one of them. J. Cole, Meek Mill. That's surprising. Sheen, Anthony, of course. Nick Shante, of course. That makes sense. Abley 247 said Jadakiss. I'm gonna have to go listen to some of your music. You said Jadakiss. So, not a lot of people say Jadakiss. I feel like
Another
Jada is
Gemini, just saying.
definitely
That's definitely
underrated.
a big
That's why I,
influence. You know what I mean? Gotta air it out. You know what I mean? By your side. Them type vibes. Yeah. Big Jada fan.
you know what's crazy? I really do resonate with the Virgos too. And you know, the one I resonate with the least these days, we have the same birthday.
Who be?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
But
That's funny as hell.
like when I was younger though, when I was younger, it was like heavy, heavy. I thought I was going to be Beyonce because I started out singing. So I thought that like
Hey, look, man, we could spin the block. I'm telling you, we can still spin the block.
AB Spitter, yeah, AB Spitter is definitely. Oh, Lee, I know who you are.
That's what I was saying. I'm
Yeah,
waiting for you to realize it. I'm like, he's
yeah,
Benjamin.
but AB Spitter, yeah,
Yes, sir.
he definitely one of those ones. Um, all right, did he dip out? Yeah, he dipped out. All right, so the next thing we're gonna talk about, and I hope y'all keeping notes of this so that you can really like fine tune it, right? Go back and like check your music, look at your influences, and see if they actually correlate. And I'm not saying this for you to be like those people purposely, but like you might have listed somebody that you really just like is your favorite artist, but they're not actually influencing the sound. Um,
Yeah.
so the next segment we're gonna get into is unlocking creative inspiration. So inspiration could be the people you meet, places you go, things you do, books, movies, literally anything. Um, for example, and when I hear a hit, when I said wake up in the morning and I drink a ginger shot, 20K steps a day, nigga, I run the block. That was just like a fly as a way of saying that I'm healthy, bro.
Mm.
Because at that time, it was a very regular part of my routine to drink ginger shots. And every day or almost every day, I walk a lot. And at that time, my goal was 20K steps a day, which I was hitting every single day. So that was just like a influence of my morning routine. Like that was like anything. Yeah, Lee was there for that John too. He was in the studio for that John. But that is such a simple thing, but it's the first line of the first verse of my best song.
Mm. True shit. Like you said, and inspired it. Yeah. Mm.
So, yeah, these other side is yours.
Yeah, I definitely am interested in knowing some of y'all inspirations as well. You know what I mean? Just like I said, or like Mick said, it's definitely important that we see what's important to y'all, and if y'all see or feel something ain't in alignment with what is meaningful to y'all morning, then let us know. You know what I mean? Ask a question is like, well, what does this matter? You know, we here for the questions. It's really here for y'all. You know what I mean? And honing and crafting our ability to communicate it. So feel free to drop a comment of what your inspirations are, or if there's something else y'all would like us to elaborate on and make it clearer. Um, you know, some of my, I guess some of my influence, my inspirations are as a whole, like my inspiration for my music initially started with my environment, like wanting to display it and give it a platform and a voice. That was like my initial inspiration in my music. Um, and I think now I just open up into larger spheres of
Yeah,
that sentiment or that ideology of my environment. So I went from my environment to like black people, and then from black people to people who listen to music, which is an even larger, you know what I'm saying? And then from there to like people who consume product, you know what I mean? So it's just like my inspirations have always been, I guess, to sum it up as one entire sentiment outside of just environment, but just the idea of groups of people. Like that's my inspiration. Just moving masses of people, speaking to people, showing people. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's really like the driving force for all my music.
yeah. Lee said when the next tape dropping. My next tape ain't gonna drop till next year. I ain't gonna rush it. I don't feel like I don't know. I gotta live and see life through that like through that musical lens. Like I don't feel like I don't know. I just do shit when I want to. Like I don't feel like I gotta drop because whatever. My inspiration, Rock of Salvation, ENT. So that's Noel. What's up, Noel? My inspiration is my awareness that my message matters and I can succor those in need. Yeah, no, that's facts. I feel a similar sentiment in the way of like I peace, but I feel a similar sentiment in the way of like I work with kids, so I feel like the message really matters because soon as they find out I make music, it it's been at the shortest amount of time, an hour later, they done found my Instagram, my TikTok. They
Yeah,
in my I don't never respond. I'll be telling them like don't DM me, but like they in my DM like yo coach this tough such and such. So they really paying attention. Like they've been singing my songs in class. Like some of them have gotten like I've had over this past summer. Remember the situation I was telling you with the kids was basically on a protest. Like they ain't gonna do their work until they get to my class, and I'm like y'all can't do that. Like y'all can't. Like I can't have that type of influence over y'all to where y'all think that that's okay. Like
yeah.
Maya said, my motivation is to empower myself and listeners to believe in themselves and the God within. Facts. Facts. That ain't even like Maya be saying some stuff sometimes that ain't even no response worthy. Like it's just that. Um all right, so the next thing that we're gonna talk about is crafting a unique sound identity. And what I mean by sound identity is the elements of your music that make you stand out. So it's kind of like your musical fingerprint. Like nobody has the same one, and there's a lot of people in music that sound like the next person, so they're not unique. That's why they blend in. That's why they get overlooked. Um, so I'm gonna actually just read off now because I put a lot right here for my
Your time,
my
yeah, man.
unique sound. So yeah, your sound identity is when you blend your influences with your own voice and your own style. So for me, it's the vocal tone. My tone is smooth and clear, like MC Light. Go listen to any, even like way back, like her first songs, like her rapping hard and all that. Like the words was hard, but like the voice was never really like a like and
Aggressive.
yeah, like but you still feel it. Like you still feel what she's saying the way you're supposed to. Um, Lyrical content for me is very, very important. It's important to tell stories. And the reason I'm saying it's important to tell stories is because I don't actually choose to do that. That's just how it comes out. Um,
That's what you're saying.
and playing around with different like literary devices. Like it'll be times that even if it don't come out, I sit down and write a verse that's just double and triple entendres. Like it's just like, or I'll sit down and write a verse that's just all metaphors. Or like I've written a verse that's one long run-on sentence. Like, and
That's
it's just because I like to play with words. Like I've been, uh, uh, I was regional regional champion of spelling bee in Philly when I was in fifth grade, sixth grade. So it's like I've always liked words. Like, and I had the wire glasses. Niggas used to call me a killer in the bee, thinking that they was like busting on me. And it's like, bro, you don't understand that I actually like that's what I
I ain't
want.
really that right. That's really not what it go.
um,
Like, it's funny.
and then like as far as like my beat selection, for the most part, my beats are like smooth sample type beats, and I think that that is influenced by the fact that I grew up listening to records with my grandma.
Mm.
So it's like that it just hits different for me. Like certain ones, like I really feel it before I even say anything on it. Um, and then I think that like what makes my sound the most unique is that it is raw. Like I record everything for the most part in one take, chorus, hook, all together. If you go listen to Light a Candle, you can hear every single breath that I take if you really listen to the song. And that was the first song I ever recorded. I went in there and did it in one take the first time I went in there. Like it's, and I'm not saying that to gas myself up because I know, like I like some songs that are like super like crisp and clean and all of that. But for me, I don't like punching in and all that. Like it messes up my mental flow. So I think that those things combined make my style raw, gritty, and introspective. I think that is my sound identity. So I want y'all to take a second and think about what is unique about your music, um, and be honest. Um, so like for Maya, I could say she be dropping a lot of gems in them drums, and so do Noel. Like she drop like a lot of thought provoking lyrics. And I can't create y'all sound identity, and I can identify it, right? But I can't say for sure that's what it is to y'all. So drop a comment of 3 words to describe your sound identity. So once again, mine, I would say raw, gritty, and introspective.
But, you know,
And then
something that
T,
something in alignment that I'm recognizing in the conversation is just um, you know, the influence, the character, you know, the ethics, the voice. These are all sentiments of the self. Like this really just kind of reflects on who you are.
yeah, my brother in here. My brother.
What's up? What's happening? I mean, and you know, I think this is a good space to even highlight, like we as individuals have ourselves that we'd like to grow and develop. And even some people who might not do music or would like to or just started may have quit. Like everybody be in a different space. But we all are connected to the similar music patterns of today.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about because I recognize that it is being mentioned frequently as it relates to us, but I do want to take some time to even mention the state of like how things are. right? Because you're talking about creating a unique sound identity, but in the current landscape or soundscape for this matter of music today, people are actually campaign and promote the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, people make strategy and tactic out of being like other people, using other people's strategies, their lyrics, their outfits, their connections, their platforms, their network, completely mimicking and intentionally copying other people's moves. And so I feel like that's important because a lot of people are not, and when I say a lot, I will say many. Many people, if I may correct myself, don't have the self confidence to maintain their will in that set of rules or those environments where people may be dismissing you, ignoring you, consequencing you, you know what I mean, punishing you and removing you from spaces for standing in your true, unique sound identity. Um, so I'll leave it there. I think there'll be another opportunity for me to expound on that more. But for myself, the way that I was able to craft my sound identity was at one point recognizing that my own set of values was harmful onto myself
Mm-hmm.
and other people. So that was the first core of my reflection in my music was recognizing my impact and influence on other people that was negative. That motivated and inspired me to do what we described earlier, which was make an effort to transform and alchemize that message, that impact, that influence I was having on people for
Optimize
a
is a
different
crazy vocab
output.
word.
You mean just a different vibe because it's like I knew I had the ability to do it, but what was I creating from that ability? So now I create spaces and I be linking people up and helping people broaden their network, you dig? And my new or not even my new, what I had discovered about myself was that I was exceptional of being able to community organize,
That you are.
be an advocate um, for social justices and platforms. I'm also a very vigorous advocate of health and mental health, you know what I mean, as well as just being influential in general,
Yeah.
right? Like that's a skill in itself. Being influential is a skill, as well as being a community organizer and then being a strong advocate are more of my current state of sound identity. Those are some things people go and vibrate with when they hear my music. Like, okay, he got the moves, he got the influence. I see it. He moves people. You know what I mean? He get the community together, and he always is an advocate. He's speaking on what could be controversial, but is a truth that isn't being heard very often. You dig? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my sound
For
identity.
for the couple people that just came in, Bravo included, the last thing we asked y'all to do was drop 3 words to describe your sound identity. So for myself, mine is raw, gritty, and introspective. Um, I'm saying that because my brother makes music too, and he nice, nice, nice. Um, Maya said, I feel like my sound identity has been inconsistent, so it's hard to describe. I can say versatile, expressive, and loving. I would say specifically for you, self-loving, like in the best way possible. Like it's like I think it's crazy in a great way how much you love yourself for real. Like when I listen to I wish you put the songs out, but when I listen to the clips that you be posting, it'd be like, bro, like if I had that awareness, like, because I feel like you could know something, but to like really be aware of it is like a different level. But I feel like if I had the awareness of self love like Maya has, I wouldn't have made certain mistakes that I made even in just like this past year.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, if you don't, uh, not even if you don't, also drop like one element of your music that you would like to hone. For me, it is, I'm not gonna say my vocal style, but my vocal range, I guess. Like being able to, like, you know how when I do paper mache by myself, I'll go up like after I do that laugh, when I laugh right before the second hook, my voice
Mm.
is spiked, and I like that, but I can't do it all the time yet. Like it's not
I got you.
like the times that it come out is really like a genuine in the moment type thing. Like
Mm. It's
um
interesting because you said I always had I have the opposite. I used to have the opposite issue in the studio. I couldn't sound like how I sound now. I always animated my voice in the studio. It was weird, but it was cool for a second. But like people were like, "That was you." You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to rap in my actual speaking voice.
yeah. Um who in here? There gotta be somebody watching in secret because they say four people, but I only see three of them.
You know the
It's a
joint be
ninja.
delayed. It
It's
be
a ninja
delayed.
in
You know what
here.
I'm saying? It be
Um
delayed. Yeah.
so the next thing we're gonna get into is actionable tips in your journey. So growth is not gonna happen overnight. But I feel like if you are consistent, and this is said regularly, if you are consistent, you can grow exponentially. I put out I put out Light a Candle on SoundCloud in 2019. I recorded it on my birthday. I released it that same day on SoundCloud. Um, the next week, I put out another song. Um, I put out another song the next week, and those two songs were the only songs that I had on SoundCloud besides features. Um, but I took those off like a year later. Light a Candle was at like 2,500 listens, and the other song was at like 1,000 something. Um, and then I didn't put out any music. I was writing. I did record some from 2020 to last year, but I didn't put anything out. Then last year, I re-released Light a Candle to streaming platforms, and the song Get Rich. I put that song out. Um, yours truly was on streaming platforms for a little bit too. I never I never knew how to promote for real, and I was still operating out of fear of I'm not the image of what a rapper is today, and I never will be because I'm not willing to conform to be like them. Like I'm not. I told you. Like when we was at that one of the shows
Yeah.
and everybody drunk and all that, I'm like, no, I came here to do what I came here to do. I ain't come here to get drunk. Um,
Right. Niggas looking sloppy in that joint.
bro.
Sloppy.
That's another conversation. But being consistent from, I'm gonna say from the point that I met you. What was that last? It was August of last year.
Yeah.
Um,
Per,
and it seemed like so
per,
much longer. It seemed like a much longer period of time. But being consistent from that point to this point, putting things into perspective, last year I performed 3 times. This year, right am right now, I'm at 30. Like I performed 30 times. I perform so much that I'm not really performing in September. Like only the only one of the only performances I'm gonna do is the residency John
Mm-hmm.
said they gonna have to set a whole new move for no facts. Um the residency John, and then Maya and Sheen got something for y'all coming up, and I'll be a part of that. But other than that, for September, I'm cool. I'm cool. I feel like y'all done heard the songs. I performed them enough in a short amount of time that I could take a break and come back and perform some of the same songs with new music and all
Yeah.
of that. Um, but like the growth has been exponential. Like I haven't checked my streaming. I don't think this year at all. Like besides putting music up there, I have not gone and looked at it. So it's like to progress from releasing on SoundCloud, releasing only 2 songs on SoundCloud that same year, 2019. So I released those 2 songs both in September. My first ever performance was in front of Busy Bee. So that was
Mm.
like already, I feel like that set me up for the future. He told me some stuff and I couldn't, like, because I had the mindset that I had. I'm not a rapper because I'm not drinking lean, I'm not spinning blocks, I'm not toting guns in my videos. That me having that mindset hindered me. But once I got to that point that I referred to at that last show where I was admitted into the hospital last year, I had a revelation in there. I'm like, bro, I almost died from stress at 25, bro.
Right.
If I'm going to stress, I might as well be me in stress. Like, so I feel like from that point on, everything was like, I have to do this. Um, so that turned into re-releasing yours truly, recording and putting out my first project, the release party, up to now, performing 30 times in 1 year. I did 2 tours this summer. And that has, in a superficial way, I've made money off the music. Um, I gained almost 500 followers from January 22nd to now. Um, but on a more spiritual level, like I don't fear myself. Like I'm not afraid to go in a place and be me. Like, is Maya still in here? Yeah. Maya seen me walk off a set because I felt like I wasn't getting respected the way that
Mm.
I should, like the way that I deserve it. Not like I said at the last show. I'm not saying this out of delusions of grandeur, bro. I'm nice, and y'all gonna treat me like I'm nice, or I'm not gonna be here. So I feel like that is a significant growth from the mindset of just last year. I could never, I can't do this because I'm not what these people want to see.
And like you said, for most people's action steps, their action steps are, you can only do what you know. And this is where I knew at some point the point I was elaborating on earlier was going to resurface, because you were just talking about just the reception, and you actually even highlighted one of the archetypes that has been projected as the action steps for the youth in
Mm-hmm.
order to operate or have influence inside of the music business and define themselves as the genre of hip hop, right? Um, I don't want to be salacious or insulting with labeling people or things, but I will go to the effort of describing the nature of certain archetypes in hip hop that are projected into the action steps of what one should commit their efforts to in order to be influential and commercially viable or influential in the music industry in the genre named hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those archetypes, I'll go with 3 today, and shouts out to Dr. Wesley Muhammad for giving us this knowledge on what to be aware of and how to, like you say, stand in your own purpose and not be afraid of yourself on your journey of making these actionable steps. Because the thing that you mentioned in the beginning of this was consistency, which
Mm-hmm.
can be very cliche. I understand that just due to the fact that people mention it. Um,
It don't matter what you're doing in life. Yeah.
right. And so it's 3 of the archetypes that are consistently put into the genre of hip hop are bullies, violent, hyper aggressive black men, and specifically black men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we also have the effort of making, excuse me, not making, but displaying black men in a effeminate manner, um, or in a clownish, ridiculous manner in order to effeminize him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also thirdly have the hypersexual,
I knew you was about to say it.
moralist, moral lack of moral black woman. So
Mm-hmm.
they strip the black woman of her morals or her perceived virtues. The virtueless black woman is what I should have mentioned it as. We have the clownish, effeminate black male, and then we have the hyper violent bully black man. And all of these archetypes are projected from the predominant owners, right? As action steps, they say, if you are displaying this behavior,
We'll
the
give you
owners
more
of hip
money.
hop are much more intrigued and interested in commercializing your image in that manner, as long as you continue to make the consistent, actionable steps towards that imagery. Now, once
Mm-hmm.
you start to change your mind, or like you said, find yourself, or remove the fear of needing to be accepted or highlighted in their media that way, you're no longer made a priority. And that's very important to mention here today as far as action steps, because I'm very, very adamant. Like I said, one of my skills in life is being an advocate. So I advocate for people learning how to do things the way that they want to do them, but also understand the consequences and the responsibilities that come with owning the steps that you take in your life.
Yeah.
Because that's a very powerful, like you said, revelation that might require one to experience death. I didn't understand the value of being in control and in power of my own actionable steps in life.
Yeah.
Now today we're talking about music, right? So there is a roadmap to success in the music industry. I think people overlook that because it's not being placed in the media or put in front of you in the way where being a lawyer, accountant, or doctor, right? But people
Mm-hmm.
would say that there is a roadmap to that. And no, everyone is not going to receive the benefits of going down that road, but
Yeah.
there is a direct road to it. And that's the same thing with the music industry. I think sometimes we can complicate it because, like you said, people do things consistently. But what I wanted to say in the beginning is, but yeah, some people do the wrong thing consistently. That's why they don't be successful. You
Yeah.
know what I
No
mean? And
fact.
that's why they quit. And that's why they shift narratives and do things that's not in their own best interest, because you can just consistently be doing the wrong work,
Yeah.
right? And I commend you to end my point, which is you did some self-reflection and some self-assessment to say, hey, let me take some different steps towards where I'd like to be, because what I'm committing myself to or what I've allowed stress into my life isn't complementing or giving me the results of the greatest version of myself. So that's what I'll add to the action steps, is just being mindful of the negative or the counterproductive influences that go along with this, because everything we've mentioned today up until about 5 minutes ago when I said this is things that complement and aid you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's not a lot of spaces interested in offering that without some elaborate ruse or deceit towards your vision and path to success. So I just encourage y'all to, let us know what more we could bring to the table in order to make this a valuable space, but also you have to learn how to protect yourself and be accountable for how you'd like to show up consistently and what steps you're willing to make in order to see, your career come the way you want it to come.
And while y'all do that, I do have two specific actionable steps. The first one is to set clear, achievable goals. Um, and that is also cliche, but it is a real thing. For example, I sold out the release party for Paper Mache. I've never, this was my first project. I've never had an event of my own or anything like that. But what made me feel like it was possible was we packed that same venue multiple times. So it's like I know I could get the people in here, and I know the people like my music. Like, um, I knew exactly how many people it took to pack that venue. I knew who I wanted to perform alongside with me, who would add to the narrative that I was putting out at the time with Paper Mache. Um, King Cams and Reason Can Rap. They are two people who I've known for years. So I seen Reason go from a kid like
Having one.
multiple, but and I wasn't really, because I ain't gonna make it seem like we've been friends this whole time. Like I wasn't in that in between part, but like we went to middle school together, so I know what bro was on when we was in
Yeah.
middle school, and it's not the mindset that he has now at all. And King Cams, I've known him since he was like 15,
Mm.
and I was like 20 something, like 2021 at the time. So it's like I seen him go from being immature, a little kid, like to even just from last year. He put out a project August 9th of last year, and he put out a project August 9th of this year. Two completely different people.
Okay.
Two completely different, like, um, so yeah, those, I knew what it was going to take for that to happen, for me to be able to, for us to be able to sell out that venue. Um, and it happened because I took the proper steps to do so. I knew how much time I needed to get that information out, the ticket information, the promo. Like I did the research,
Yeah.
and that goes into the second uh, step, which is to keep learning whatever mediums help you learn. Um, Whether that's like, I go to YouTube University, I
Right.
learn everything from YouTube. Literally
Right.
everything that you need
Dang.
for this music journey is on YouTube, and everything that is not on YouTube is specific to your life. So you're not going to find it nowhere else besides living. Um, so that could be online courses, tutorials, or even just like on some, I'm gonna write every day. You're gonna get your eventually going to start really progressing. Like it might be like you write something hot on day one and you might write something trash on day seven, but by day 30, you're definitely gonna write something way better than day one. Um, so the first step is set clear, achievable goals. The second step is keep learning and perfecting your craft. Um, so my next task for y'all, because I told y'all this was an interactive experience. I want y'all to drop a comment of what is one of your short-term goals, and I mean 6 months to a year from now for your music journey. Mine is to drop, well, not even to drop, but to complete my next project within the next 6 months. Because right now, how I am honing my craft is working on the mixing and mastering myself. Because I got all the equipment that I need, and I am tired of like hopping on trains and being in studios and all of that. It's for paper
You know how to
mache. The
record
reason I went to
music?
the, huh?
You know how to record music?
Yeah, I just don't like people at my house. So it's like if I'm doing features,
Man, we need to have a conversation after this. I got something to talk to you about. Okay, say that.
um,
I didn't know you was me. Okay. I knew, but I just, you gotta let people get into a comfortability with wanting to bring other people into the mix. So
yeah,
thank you for acknowledging
I don't be having people at my house though. So it's like
that.
for me to have those features and do the documentary and all of that, I I had to do that at an outside studio, like for me to feel comfortable.
I want to say too, let's get some questions in because we only got 5 more minutes.
Oh yeah,
Instagram gonna cut us at a time. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So we have to
Before we
skip
get the
straight to the question.
questions, I was about to say before we get the questions, I'm gonna quickly go through the mental well-being.
All right.
And we are gonna have an episode that is all about mental health with Maya Kiana. We just gotta schedule that out. Uh, but my one tip is finding the balance for you so that you don't go crazy. Like I said earlier in the live, for me right now, finding that balance means taking a step back from performing because I'm, like I said, tired of hopping on trains, shelling out all this money. Then I gotta hop on the train back. Then I gotta stay at my mom's house. Then I gotta stay at my brother-in-law's house if necessary. And then like I had those 2 shows this week. I had to catch 3 buses, and then you had to give me a ride to one of the shows. I'm tired. I've been doing that for the past 30 shows. I'm cool. So with that being said, drop your questions so we can answer them real quick before we get out of here. Um, and Teach hopped on the stock market because
That shit
he
closed
gonna
today,
be.
bro.
Oh
That
yeah, I
John,
forgot it's a
it's Labor
holiday.
Day.
I
Yeah,
forgot
it's
it's
Labor
holiday.
Day. Ain't hitting for nothing. But even with that, like, especially considering, and I think I was thinking about it this whole time. I think the first season, however, what's the first season going to be? A month? Each month is a
No, it's
season.
10. As I say, it's 10 episodes, and then we gonna take a break for Thanksgiving and
All
Christmas.
right, so yeah, let's do the first 10. We'll just give them the first 10 so we can collect people's information who really want to go to the next level. So
Hmm.
like in the caption of these, I'll give them some action steps on how to lock in with us better, and we can create an actual list of people who want to really lock in with the full Mondays with Mick campaign. But let's give them the first 10 episodes so that people know, because people not gonna make it at 8 a.m. Then they'll see the replay and then they
Yeah,
can anticipate it. A couple weeks from now, everybody will be, what I mean, fully engaged. So what do you think? I'm not telling you, I'm asking you. Do you think we can give
you
them
want to leave it up here?
first
I was
season?
gonna
Yeah,
say,
let's give them the first season.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was just gonna say it once we hopped off.
Yeah,
But yeah, still send it
yeah,
to
we
me though,
should
so I
just
could clip it.
1,000. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
the other
Absolutely.
mental well-being thing that I would say is working out. I am a certified personal trainer, nutritionist, and strength and conditioning coach. And starting today, I am starting the Better Boot Camp. So right after this goes up on my fitness page will be the first workout of the day. Each workout will be 5, 10, or 15 minutes. The first workout is 5 minutes. And you don't need no equipment. So if you're not doing it, you just lazy, bro. That's just if you don't
Right.
got 5 minutes to work out and you don't need no equipment, you just not trying to do it. And it improves your mental well being, your capacity to perform, all of that. But if y'all got questions, drop them. If not, we
Yeah.
could wrap it up. So just let us know. If you don't got no questions, drop a comment saying you don't got no questions so we know what we're doing, so we're not just sitting here for these next like 3 minutes.
Yeah, because I know, and especially at the bottom, if y'all haven't gotten the free package already on my website, it literally give you the blueprint of everything that I be doing up until this point.
Yo, I
And
can't
I know a
find
lot of
mine.
people be, huh? You said you gotta find it?
I can't find mine. I did the sign up, John, but I can't find it in my email.
So thank you for saying that, because that's literally why now I'm realizing I have to like explain it a little bit better. So what happens is when I had it initially set up, when you signed up for the waitlist, it would forward you to the courses page on the website, right? So
Okay.
all I was really doing was making it convenient for people. But what happened was I looked at my emails and Squarespace said I needed to reset my
Okay.
configuration. So it's fixed now, but what you signed up for is on the courses page.
Okay.
So everything, it's on the courses page. If it makes it simple for y'all don't even gotta sign up for the wait list. What the wait list does is keep y'all in the loop of the things that we're doing, like Mondays with Mick and all of the other dope things we're doing for the creative community. But if you just want the free package on my blueprint for success as a musician and creative entrepreneur, you just go to the courses tab on my website and you can just get that free package anytime. You feel me? And that's not even a long package. It's like literally an hour, maybe an hour and a half long, and you'll be caught up. So yeah, if y'all
All
don't
right.
got no other questions, you know what I mean? I'm gonna let y'all rock.
So just to recap, today we went over discovering your influences, unlocking creative inspiration, crafting a unique sound identity, and actionable tips and mental well-being. How do you suggest networking with someone who doesn't use social media? Set up a meeting.
I mean, I'll
Set up
even
a
I have it. I got a different John, to be honest, right? Um, if you don't have social media, you just don't. I wouldn't. I don't know what you're doing. Like, if you want to do something and don't have social media, just
bro.
just
So
stop.
notice
Like you're making it hard. Like I don't even know why. Why would you want to network with someone who doesn't use social media? Like what benefit do they provide to what you're doing? Like I don't even know how. That's like extra baggage. Like that's like nigga. Like why would you want to carry somebody who don't want to use social media?
that
That
is
blew
a
me
fact.
away. Because I feel like we be trying to make so much space for stuff nowadays, where it's just like shit don't be working. Like there's some things you can try and talk to everybody about everything, but bro, some shit don't work. Or you just doing a whole lot of extra work trying to make it work. So if they don't want to use social media, you might have to just let that nigga go. I mean, but
That
that's
is a
TJ. That was
that no
me.
that I was about
That
to say
was
that is a fact though, because
you got what
who
30
don't
seconds just to
who
give
don't
you
got social media? Oh, older folks. Yeah, that's what I
um,
said. Set up a meeting. Set up a meeting.
yeah, man, you gotta go up to the crib, man. But bless up. I don't wanna I be
All
popping it. I'm gonna call you real quick after
right.
this joint.